Saddam Hussein was one of the most controversial and powerful figures in modern Middle Eastern history. Born on April 28, 1937, in a poor village near Tikrit in Iraq, Saddam had a troubled childhood. He joined the Ba'ath Party in his youth, a political movement that promoted Arab nationalism and socialism. His early political career was marked by ambition and ruthlessness. In 1959, he took part in an assassination attempt on then-Iraqi Prime Minister Abdul Karim Qasim, which failed and forced him into exile for several years. Saddam rose through the ranks of the Ba'ath Party during the 1960s and eventually became vice president, under President Ahmed Hassan al-Bakr in 1968 after a successful coup. In 1979, Saddam took over as president after forcing al-Bakr to resign. Once in power, he quickly established a strong dictatorship. He built a powerful security apparatus, controlled the media, and eliminated political opponents through intimidation, imprisonment, and execution. He used fear as a tool to maintain control and projected an image of strength and authority both domestically and internationally. Under Saddam's rule, Iraq saw both moments of development and devastation. He invested in infrastructure, education, and healthcare, especially during the early years of his presidency. However, his aggressive foreign policy and brutal internal crackdowns overshadowed these efforts. In 1980, he led Iraq into a devastating 8-year war with neighboring Iran. The Iran-Iraq War resulted in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people on both sides and severely weakened Iraq's economy. One of Saddam's most infamous actions was the use of chemical weapons against Kurdish civilians in Halabja in 1988, killing thousands. This act drew widespread international condemnation and remains one of the darkest chapters of his rule. In 1990, Saddam invaded Kuwait, claiming it was historically part of Iraq. This led to the Gulf War in 1991, where a U.S.-led coalition forced Iraqi troops out of Kuwait. The war left Iraq heavily sanctioned and isolated from much of the world, causing severe economic hardship for the Iraqi people. Despite international pressure and several internal uprisings, Saddam managed to hold on to power throughout the 1990s. He maintained strict control through propaganda and a network of loyal supporters. However, after the 9/11 attacks in 2001, the U.S. government accused Saddam of possessing weapons of mass destruction and having links to terrorist groups, although no solid evidence was ever found. In 2003, the United States, along with a coalition of allies, invaded Iraq, leading to the collapse of Saddam's regime. Saddam went into hiding but was captured later that year near his hometown of Tikrit. His trial for crimes against humanity began in 2005 and was broadcast to the public. In 2006, he was found guilty and sentenced to death. He was executed by hanging on December 30, 2006. Saddam Hussein left behind a legacy filled with fear, war, and oppression, but also marked by his iron grip over Iraq for nearly 3 decades. His life remains a complex and controversial chapter in the history of the Middle East.